And here we are with a friendly chat. We're at the Brat Awards, and various members of Jesus and the Mary Chain, and also you didn't realise that, did you?
No, I didn't know.
But we'll forget that one. And Peter Hook, of course.
Thank you.
Order.
How are you doing?
Well, we're very fine. We haven't seen each other.
Sweating a bit now.
2 years, I think, is the last time we met up. Revenging at the time you were.
I enjoyed it anyway.
Even
if nobody else did.
No, others did. And we were talking at the time about New Order at the time. And of course, it's all history now. It's all been.
I know, it's very strange.
Eventually happened. But you didn't win nothing tonight. I bet you're gutted, aren't you?
No. I think the right band won. Oh God, I reckon it was fixed, right?
Yeah.
I reckon the bribes they must have paid out that Suede.
To win their
If you can get a taxi home, I'll be amazed.
But for yourselves, I mean, you've had your own rewards, really, haven't you?
Yeah, I know. No. I'm not bitter, Paul. I'm not bitter. Yeah, no. It's nice to be here. I mean, I don't go normally to these sort of amateur productions, but I quite enjoyed it tonight.
But last year, I mean, for yourselves, the album very well received.
Yeah, no, we did very
commercially and critically.
I enjoyed it
As a whole process.
It was a bit short, but
yeah,
that's life, isn't it?
Not a lot of live gigs. Which I know is something you like.
We did enjoy them though.
Yeah.
It's better to enjoy 13 than do 14 that you don't enjoy, isn't it?
True. But I know you're a live performance. What's this Killing Joke thing for yourself? I read.
Is that going to happen? Yeah, I'm doing. Youth is doing the first set of dates.
Yeah.
We're doing about 8 or 10 dates, and I'm doing the rest.
Right.
The world tour, and I'm doing an LP with Jazz and Jordan.
Right. So you're locked.
Really looking forward to
you're
it.
locked in a big way.
Yeah,
so how
great.
did that come about?
We did like this conceptual jam in Germany, which was really weird. But like it just really. I mean, I've known him for about 10 years anyway.
Right.
It just really clicked, and we got on really well. We did 3 songs in one day.
Right.
I've never worked like that for you. I mean, you know that as a musician, right? To do 3 songs in one day, that's a lot of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
It was just like the chemistry was just brilliant.
So for yourself, you obviously were aware of Killing Joke, but were you a fan at the time? Was it a similar times to yourself when you were coming through?
Joy Division tour with Killing Joke for about 20 gigs, so
right,
old friends.
History.
Go
back a long way.
Terrible, isn't it? So, too much history.
So when are you out there on the road then with?
Well, I'm hoping to do the LP with Jazz and Geordie in March, in April,
right,
and then the rest of the Killing Joke tour will be in June, July.
Right, summertime.
I'm really looking forward.
Sometime on the road with that bass.
Thank you. How low can you go?
How low can you go? Well, how about a request for yourself? Who would you like to see?
I'd like to see the Inspiral Carpet, seeing as they're here tonight, and they've sorted me out with their Saturn 5.
Saturn 5, Miss Spirals. Let's go. This is just so arty, this show. I mean, there's conceptual fish flying all around the room this evening. You're watching 120 Minutes, of course. We're at, well, it's a party, really. It's an excuse for an awards ceremony, but basically everybody's just enjoying themselves. And I've been joined by the group, or members of the group, who were, in fact, voted by the readers of the NME as the best new act of the year. Elastica. How do you feel about that?
Well, we were quite surprised by the whole sort of thing, by the polls and things, but really, ideally, it'd be great, for the fans and stuff, if we got any to come along and sort of support us, which is more of a appreciated award from getting it from the public rather than actually sort of enemy journalists, really.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, they did put you in there as well. They were going to vote for you as well.
I
mean, basically, at this moment in time, critics and the kids think you're cool.
Cheers very much, yeah.
Yeah?
Look at that jacket.
It's
It's
cool.
a cool jacket.
So
I challenge anyone to say it's not cool.
No, I'm not going to argue with you on that one. I'm not going to argue on that one. But I did want to ask you about this new wave of the new wave. What is that?
I don't know, you have to ask an enemy journalist about that. We didn't invent it, honest.
No.
So
you don't see yourselves as a new wave of a new wave?
No, I think there's something happening, but I wouldn't have called it that, really.
What would you call it then?
I don't know, sort of... I don't know, really. I think what we're doing is actually quite different to what the other people who are being lumped with are doing. So I think there's lots of good new bands around who are all quite excitable.
Yeah.
But the music's different in each case.
So by this new wave, to classify for our viewers over there in Europe, obviously the new wave of the new wave is more a British thing, as in the new wave of the new British bands. I mean, do you see yourselves as a very British act? People saying hello to us here. Mr. Vic Reeves joining us here on Twitter. Very good to see you, sir.
Are you still living in Crystal Palace?
I am still living in Crystal Palace.
Can I try on your glasses on camera?
You can do, yes.
This is a very special moment. Vic Reeves and I shared some fish and chips in the past.
No, not at all, but I am.
Hey, these aren't magnifying. It's all a trick.
I don't know what's happening on 120 minutes. Meanwhile, do you see yourselves as a very British new wave act?
I don't think we see ourselves as a new wave act or as a British act. I think what we're doing is quite unique to us, and we're British, therefore it's probably quite British. I don't know if it's new wave really.
Okay.
I wouldn't like to classify.
That's the thing. So for yourselves, you must be heading out on the road through 1994. I know you're going out. Album plans as well?
There's no album plans at the moment. We start touring on the 1st of February,
right,
which we all are quite excited about, being our first headline tour. Writing our first proper single, you know, the whole thing of the 1,500 copies has been element of surprise to us, but we've got, you know, now we're doing our first headline tour. People are going to be actually buy the copy of a record that we want to release. So yeah, definitely we're really, really excited about it.
Yeah, good things for 1994. Would have thought. Good things for 1994.
Let's hope so. It's been good so far.
All right. Request time. What would you like to see? Who's going to ask?
I will. I think we're going to ask for the great, lost, forgotten single and video by Blur, which is Pop Scene. It's fab.
Blair. Well, you're watching 120 Minutes. Now, of course, you may have heard about the super groups in the past where musicians from different bands get together and create wonderful music. Well, we have a supergroup interview because we have Inspire Recover and Therapy.
And Blur!
In fact, there's other bands in the background. We got a bit of Blur in as well. Elastica as well. Let's talk to the guys.
What do you want to know now? What do you want to know?
One at a time. Let's start with Inspirals. Nice start to the year. Saturn 5 doing well.
Did really well, mate. Plummeted to 25 after the second week, but who gives a shit?
Well, the new album's coming out soon. And the new single, Marquis Smith. Now, how did that come about? Marquis Smith.
A mate of ours has got a lot of respect for the Inspirals, like a lot of people have, seems. Yeah, very easily, really, just friend, you know.
Yeah.
Sounds good. It might do top 10. If not, don't matter.
But you phoned him up, or what? You had a song you wanted to do?
0898, dial Smithy.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Phoned him up on the telephone. Yes.
And separate to that, we've already had Peter Hook tonight, and he actually requested you. It was very nice.
Well, Peter Hook is this weekend, this very weekend, when you're watching this broadcast,
Probably be out of date.
he's going to be recording in Spiral's version of Black Sabbath's Paranoid. Whoa, yes.
Oh, yes, he is.
Can we wait for
Heavy
that?
metal, heavy metal for the 1990s with Inspirals.
Inspirals, okay. Well, that's something to look forward to.
Therapy.
And talking about Black Sabbath, let's talk about Judas Priest. No.
He doesn't like blondies.
These guys have recorded Judas Priest, haven't you?
Yeah, we have indeed.
Yeah, on your last single.
Well, with a new wave of British heavy metal.
I fucking like that.
He's new, Joel.
It's like Tigers of Pantang and stuff like that, innit?
Yeah. It's gonna happen. Now, Therapy, of course. Therapy. We will be talking to you, in fact, more next week. Next week we have Therapy in conversation with their new LP. But in the meantime, we need to get a request video off somebody. What would you like to see, anybody?
Mark Smith.
Have you got any Phil Collins?
I think Marquis Smith. Marquis Smith is safer. Let's go to the 4.
Jam 69.
Well, she won something tonight, but she isn't here, and we are. And in fact, the winners of the best dance band. You don't like being called a band, do you? Really? Orbital.
I don't mind actually, because it's because we do play live and stuff like that, and so it's like traditionally keeping, we are a band, band of two.
But you were talking about electronic music tonight. Almost like saying it's about time, due respect.
Well, it's a bit like that. No, it's just a bit of recognition, really, because there is, there is a lot of ignorance really within it along the mainstream sort of thing, which is, I suppose, is to be expected. But I can't see the difference between like instrumental music, because it's dealing with emotions and moods more than the actual messages. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of not in your face, and I think it's there's a lot of it around now, and there's a lot of interesting stuff around as well.
Young people are really into a lot of instrumental music. The amount of people's houses you can go around, they put a tape on when you're all sitting around having a cup of tea, and like the 60. I beg your pardon. No, like 60% of it will be instrumental, and it's just quite normal now. And you don't seem to get it on radio and things like that. It's quite unusual.
We play it on 120 though.
Oh, I know.
We do. But for yourselves, I mean, how long have you been together? Let's get a quick history on
ever since I was born, because he's my brother.
Ah. Well, okay. How long since you've been making music together then?
Strictly speaking, I'd say since I was about 16. On and off,
about
really.
10 years, really, yeah.
But you were doing...
But Orbital happened about 4 years ago, really. Okay. Yeah.
Well, we're going to play a video, and in fact, we did ask you to request it, but our director has requested it, really, because she likes it a lot. Yeah. Because she doesn't understand what car boot sales were and everything. Why did you end up making a video at a car boot sale?
It's just one of those things. We wanted to make something a bit like, I don't know, like a short sort of sequence of something to watch that's just interesting. It always reminds me of like Play School when they used to go through the window. Do you know what I mean? It's like something like that. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like a little expose on car boot sales in a way, and it's interesting because it just shows. For 3.5 minutes, amongst all the mad sort of dance music videos you get, it's just something quite laid back and relaxed, and you get a chance to like study people. What are people really like? So it's 3.5 minutes of people for a change.
Can I say something? It's just like this whole car boot sale phenomenon in England has become, probably because the economic, climate and stuff like that, people just like sell off. What they can say has been a big boom in car sales, car boot sales. So it's like almost become a sort of subculture in itself, and also it's like a musical interlude, like the Potter's Wheel that you used to get, very sort of slow and sort of like a calming down, a calming down sort of video.
He's just themed it up there. The concept, ambient television on your screens, Orbital. Well, here we are then, 120 minutes, enjoying ourselves, and we have now another supergroup interview situation. We've had one already this evening, I'm afraid, but we now have Pop Will Eat Itself and also Carter, the Unstoppable Sex Machine, all lined up together.
So he says.
He is a member of...
Looking mighty kids at me.
But what we do in these situations is we kind of work our way around and everybody gets a fair share. Pop Will Eat Itself, what are you up to?
We're writing songs for a new album, which hopefully will be out by the end of the year, blah, blah, blah. We're doing a tour and do some dates and the usual kind of stuff, really.
Feeling good for yourselves?
Very well indeed.
Down the road?
Yeah.
And you don't mind that nobody bothered to actually give you anything this evening as an award?
We got 17th Best Live Act in the Select Magazine Awards this year.
That's a quality award, I'll tell you, that's a quality award.
What counts is the people are there at the gigs and seeing you, which is what at the end of the day. And I know you've got a big one coming up in March in Birmingham.
Yeah, that will be great. It's like a big weekend. We're playing, and Transglobal Underground, Sense, Creed to the Nation, Fundamental, and a couple of other bands yet to be announced.
Right, good stuff. All the kind of stuff we play in 120 minutes. And Jim Bob, Carter, how are you?
All right.
Yeah. How's the new year treating you so far?
Awful.
Oh my God! There's always one downer on the internet. No, what's happening?
No change on last year, really. I don't know. I'm having a really good time tonight. It's fantastic to meet all your friends in one small building.
He's lying.
I don't know.
He's lying.
Unlike them, I live in London. They live wherever you live.
I don't.
Wolverhampton.
I don't.
Birmingham.
And we,
I live in the same shithole as you.
For us, it's not worth travelling across London to get a free beer.
Carter, though, what can we expect in the coming months from Carter? Do you want to talk at all?
Not some talent.
Well, no talent involved whatsoever. I don't know. There's a new single which is brilliant.
Yeah.
And some B-sides on that new single which are extra brilliant because they're done by other people.
He's lying.
And I think, I don't know. We'll be on there.
Live dates?
Well, live dates in Europe, but not England, because England's a waste of time. And
Europe's where we're talking about.
I think we're going to get a drummer this year.
Yeah.
As inspired.
We tried to, but
inspired by what's the name of the band again?
Well, it's just so bitchy around here between Carter and Pop South. So I'll go to a request video, and I know you'd like to see somebody good, wouldn't you?
I would. I'd like to see Templeheads by Transglobal Underground. Thank you.
We like this one. 120 minutes coming from the NME New Musical Express Brat Awards, where the New Musical Express readers, one of the most influential alternative independent music magazines in the UK, have voted for their single of the year, and the winners were Radiohead, no surprise, and Creep. Or was it a surprise to you guys, or what?
It was actually, because we weren't sure. We got to the table near the front. We thought, hello, maybe we have, maybe we haven't.
Is this a set-up?
We thought we'd been set up, actually.
Right, that's the thing. For yourselves, I mean, obviously it goes without saying you've enjoyed a wonderful 1993 that passed through. I mean, the whole thing really with the NME and the kind of readership in a way is they don't want you to go too far as the thing, which is kind of nice, the fact that you actually won from the reader's point of view, because they like people to go so far and love them, and you've actually gone huge.
It's very gratifying, because I think in our eyes, like, the readers' poll is the more important thing. You know, the critics can say whatever they like about the record, but it's obviously the people who've bought it, and it's meant something to them. You know,
the expression is the kids, I think.
The kids, that's the thing. But for yourselves, I mean, how do you look back on '93?
It was
weird.
Hell in points, but
it was hell in points. But I mean, it's been an amazing thing. We visited like 18 different countries during and the great thing, I think the thing that's been totally satisfying for us is that we always felt like with the success initially in America, we always like, you know, you want to have some kind of success at home, and then Creep going into the top 10 it was very gratifying for us. Yeah.
So you're resting up at the moment, or you're working?
No, we're working very, very hard at the moment. We're working on new material for the album. We're going to do the album like next month, and it's really, really exciting because we've been touring like flat out for a year and a half. We've done like well over 150 dates, and I've really come together as a band and as people, and we're now recording, you know, on little 2-track tapes, all the new songs, and listening back to them in the evening going, oh wow, we're a band, oh wow, this is, you know, I think really we signed very early, we were very unconfident about what we were doing, and all this happened to us, and now it's all coming out in all our new songs, so
when can we hope to hear this stuff? It's probably the summertime?
Well, there's going to be a single in May, and there'll probably be a second single in summer, but the album will be in September.
Well, I'm sure many viewers out there look forward to it. Have you something you'd like to see apart from yourselves?
Definitely. We'd like to see Blur, because we think they're very nice.
Yeah.
And we'd like to see Sunday if you can play it. That'd be great.
Good night of the week, Sunday. Blur. You're watching 120 minutes here in London at what has been known as the Brat Awards, and basically what we're talking about is an alternative and independent celebration by the NME, as the New Musical Express newspaper and its readers, of the best and the greatest, as far as they're concerned, in alternative and independent music, and a band who have featured regularly in the NME's pages over the past 3 years or so. Of course, there's been the Manic Street Preachers, and Richie from the group is here with me this evening. Welcome to 120.
Good evening.
In fact, the first time I've ever spoken to you,
I think
surprisingly,
so, yeah.
over the years.
I recognise you from your dubious past.
But we have 120 in particular. We're very supportive of the Manics from early days. I think we were probably the first people who played those vids.
I think so, yeah.
But you don't need that kind of support anymore. I think you're one of these termed as established bands now. Is that what you think you are, would you say?
I don't think any band is established. Most bands got a career of maybe 3 or 4 years, then they fade into oblivion and end up, you know, checking out dole checks and the DSS, maybe.
Or you go the other way, end up sort of checking in those tax accountants and making millions. That's the other alternative, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe, but that's for the very lucky, the very few.
Yeah.
The nigger BS, actually.
Don't think. Well, I always remember with the Manics that you swore that after the first album you'd break up then anyway, which you obviously didn't do.
No, I mean, that was our big ultimate aim. We wanted to be the perfect band that could make a record that sold globally, millions, and that there would be no need to make another record. All we've ever been interested in doing is making a record which encapsulates a mood and a time, and then it can be a full stop, bye-bye, no need. Go and live with my dogs on the coast, wherever.
Well, the last record was very well received for the group and was seen very much as a mature progression for yourselves as songwriters and also as musicians in putting it down.
Yeah, I mean, it was called mature, which is something that I find difficult to live with, but I guess it was. I mean, I think the older you get, the more life becomes more miserable. Definitely. I mean, all the people you grew up with die. Your parents die, your grandparents die, your dog dies. Your energy diminishes. There's less books to read. There's no more groups to discover. You just end up a barren wasteland, just trying to find something new, which never really occurs. Now you end up finding worth in groups which maybe 2 or 3 years ago you would have just spat on, which is depressing, which I do all the time. I mean, I'm getting to Buffalo Springfield, which, to me, I mean, it's a nightmare.
As the song said.
It's a nightmare. For what it's worth, it's their best song, but,
Well, on that positive note then, what are the Manics up to at this moment in time? Getting depressed or actually getting positive?
Well, since Philip died, we cancelled everything. And just went into a crabby little studio about a quarter of this room size. And just been writing new songs, just like we did at the start. Yeah. Just trying to, maybe.
And Philip Hall, of course, was actually the special award this evening.
Yeah.
Philip.
I know Philip was a very special person to us. It's pretty well documented, but we spent maybe a year and a half writing letters, phoning journalists up. People like MTV. Any address or phone number we got, we would write to or phone up. And there was never any response because an unknown band, who cares, wherever. And Philip was one of the first people that ever called us back. And he said he was interested in coming to see us play in London. And we obviously could not get any concerts there at all because it's impossible. So he drove down to see us practice in a crappy little schoolroom. Right. In South Wales.
Yes, I mean, it's well documented. The guy, he's a very big supporter of new music, and that's why he's represented tonight at the awards.
He drove down, he saw us play, he liked what we did, he got us some gigs in the Bull and Gate, the Fog and wherever, and then just sort of looked after us. And even then, when we started to get some press, he just said, come and live with us. He'd be married maybe a year. So we slept on his lounge, his kitchen, right. Wherever was available.
So I appreciate that for you this evening, with him being represented, it's more of a kind of a reflective mood that you find yourselves in tonight.
The only reason we're here tonight is because of Philip. I mean, we've never been to one of these things before in our lives. It was just a memory of Philip that we came here. We know the sort of band that is seen en masse in these sort of public occasions. We're a very private band. We didn't like these kind of showbiz sort of awards.
Well, on from that, can I get a video out of you? Would you like to see anybody?
No. No, yeah. I quite like Roxanne by the Police.
Okay, we can go back in time.
Thanks very much.
The
Long
Police.
time ago.
And there's one of the said Brat Awards that we're here for this evening. John Peel sitting here with me, who I'm sure doesn't need any introduction to our viewers across Europe, who must be aware of your services.
Well, I know that I do programs for other countries, in Europe, and get a certain amount of mail from them. So there'll be a certain number of people who listen to the programs.
And also a lot of bands who we've played over the years on 120 Minutes, of course, have got their start through yourself, as indeed many of the acts and other acts who aren't here this evening have done, which have actually got the award for tonight. Godlike Genius.
Godlike Genius. That's quite a responsibility, isn't it? But the great thing is that as soon as I've finished here, I shall go home, and tomorrow morning when I get up with the children to take them to school, I'm not a godlike genius to them. I'm just dad, you know, and a twerp as far as they're concerned, and that's quite healthy, I think. Really.
A good perspective on it. But actually, I think for yourself, probably the right man to ask, because this is a question which comes to me all the time, and I can't answer it. And as we're here this evening with the NME Awards, for you, if you can answer this, what is alternative and what is independent?
Well, I never really bother with these classifications myself, and I'm never really quite sure. It's like all the different areas of kind of dance music, you know. I'm never quite sure what stage things slip over into being like garage or whatever it is, and or in the area of kind of metal music when it's kind of black metal, death metal, all these other things. And frankly, I don't care, you know. I mean, I don't have to kind of dress up like any of it, you know. So I don't need to worry about it. I just listen to it, and I either like it or I don't like it, and that's the only, for me, that's the only criterion.
That's where it counts for you. If
it is.
It's cool for yourself.
Yeah.
But you find for yourself that you just have a natural enthusiasm which keeps going on and on for all this area?
Well, it is. I mean, it's obviously a bit odd, you know. People point out, because I'm 54 years old.
I don't think age has got anything to do with it.
Well, I don't either, but I always feel I ought to try and justify it, you know, because... but then I always say that if you're interested in theatre or literature or film or something like that, nobody says, hey, fatso, you're 45, you've got to stop, you know, and you just got to watch old... you know, whatever it is, you just got to watch old black and white films for the rest of your life. So, I mean, it's there are areas of popular music which I mean, obviously, if I was into, like, Take That and stuff like that, that would be a bit odd, you know. Yeah. But the kind of things that I like, I think it's nothing unreasonable to still be interested in them.
Of course, it's not. So we can offer you while you're here on camera, would you come along and host 120 Minutes one day if we said, hey, John?
Yeah, I'm not a very convincing television performer, I have to say. No, it's true. So I mean, this sounds like, but one of the reasons I don't do it is because I'm actually all right at the moment because I've had a few beers. But normally I have my eyes shut all the time like that, and obviously as a novelty act, it's okay, you know. But
you can wear the Roy Orbison glasses, John.
That's I could do that, yeah. But as a regular thing, having your eyes shut on television isn't very cool. No.
All right,
it doesn't work.
Well, talking about TV, we're going to ask for a request video of you, and I happen to know this is a band that you do like a lot, isn't it?
Well, anything by the Fall, really. I mean, over the last 15, 16 years, they've sustained me more than any other band. I've been to loads of their gigs, and last year we went to see them in Norwich, and I thought to myself, a family that goes to see the Fall together is in good shape.
I ain't going to argue with that. The Fall. Whoa, Mr. Dando, so cool. And Brat Awards, and I've been joined by Brett from Suede, who won, what did you say, worst video of the year? No, no, come on now.
Most annoying person of the year, I think.
No, come on.
Worst band?
No. Best band, as in voted by the
NME readers.
The NME readers, which is the one that counts.
Yeah,
people out
I suppose so.
Yeah, as it thinks.
Yeah, it's not. You know, people vote for it because they're real people. They vote for it. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, people sort of.
People you make the records for.
Well, exactly. Yeah. You don't make the records for the critics. You make them for the people that are going to fucking buy them and the people that actually mean something to them. And so it's an honour in a way.
Yeah.
You know, people sort of think, yeah, it's an honour, but yeah, it is in a way because it means that people really...
Well, they buy the records and they bother to write in to say that they like you a lot.
Exactly. So they really feel for it, so it's quite important in lots of ways.
Now, last time we spoke, in fact, was some muddy field in Glastonbury. Yeah. In fact, that was the NME tent you were playing there, as I remember on the evening.
Yeah.
And what's been happening since, for yourself, since the summer?
We've been on tour, we've been to America, blah, blah, blah.
I heard you liked America.
I love America, yeah. It's a fine place. It's the new world.
Yes.
No, I had a good time there.
Yeah.
And been back, been to Japan, various things like that. And we're
all them rock and roll things.
God,
come on. You're in the studio at the moment, I know, writing?
Yeah, which is about, I'm writing at the moment. We're starting actually recording in March. And we're starting to record our next album. I'm writing at the moment, so it's all very exciting.
So, I mean, with the writing side of it, what were you doing that on the road as you went, or was this like start a whole new session?
Not really. It's when I write on the road, I write ideas, but nothing musical at all. I need to sit down and think and be very still and silent for a while.
Okay.
But you know,
I respect that. Now, the big thing we're all waiting for is February the 14th, Valentine's Day. It's a new single.
Yeah, it is, yeah. We've got a single called Stay Together, which is out.
Yeah.
And
is it 9 minutes, or was that an exaggeration?
No, it's 8 and 3/4 or something like that, so it's good fun.
Not a commercial move, then? as in the commercial single sense.
Played on the radio because the thing is, it's a radio. It's a song it's very poppy and stuff, and they can fade it out, and there's radio edits and all that sort of stuff. We wrote it that long, not because we thought, oh, that's a good idea, but just because we thought, well, it just seemed to suggest itself. We wrote a song, and then there was a part on the end which carried on and got more and more extreme. And well, wait and see what people think, but I think it's good.
So in the meanwhile, as you say, you got a writing session. We're not looking at more live work from Suede in Europe or anywhere else until the new records.
We're playing 3 dates in England when the single comes out. Very low-key dates, not very big at all. They're quite strange little places. We're playing in Blackpool and in Worthing and in Edinburgh. Very small, strange places. But the next proper tour is going to be when the album comes out in September. So Autumn '94.
Aye. Okay. So I'd like to get a request of you. Have you thought anything you'd like to see, or do you want to see it on your own?
I'd like to see. Oh dear. What do I like?
I don't know. Have you seen anybody here tonight that you like?
I want to see Cream by Prince.
Oh, all right. Well, why not? Prince, Cream.
So just a reminder for you, of course, that we'll be back again at the same time next week with more independent alternative music, 2 hours. We will be joined by Therapy on next week's show, and they'll be talking to us about their brand new album, Trouble Gum. And also we'll be playing tracks from this Sister Double Happiness video, and we have some copies of this to give away as well. So that's 9 o'clock next week, 120 minutes. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.